Did you learn the styles at Tennessee State, or did you learn that on the road?
Both.
Both.
You know, you develop as you play, you know, so I was playing that style in Memphis and then in Nashville and then to the road too, so each one was a learning period, you know, each step. Good.
How do you approach the other arrangements in your compositions? How do you deal with, once it comes to saying this is what I want, the pianos, the trumpets, the horn sections, the rhythm sections, the additional singers, the additional vocals to sound like? How do you approach that part of
I
composition?
usually start with the piano. That's your basic foundation, you know, because you can hear all of your chords, you know, you can see your intervals that you need and hear them. So I think any musician or artist will tell you that if you have a knowledge of the piano, it makes it easier, you know, for you as a solo artist, you know, because piano is the basic foundation of all of it, you know.
The piano. What gave you the forethought to say, I want to take a saxophone? I guess like a Charlie Parker and a John Coltrane, and to name two of the most obvious saxophone players. What said to you, I want to be a solo saxophone player? I want to be the head saxophone player in this band. What gave you that forethought?
I don't know. I think it was probably listening to people like Moody and Charlie Parker. They always, the way they played, they always played like singers. And I think that's what I project. In fact, that's my approach to the horn, is vocal. It's a vocal approach. And those are the people I listened to, and they always sounded like singers. And I always kind of stood out, even in saxophone sections, because I had a big sound, you know, it was overplayed. And that in itself sort of let me know that I was like a first alto player, because my sound was bigger, and I always felt like I was leading the section, you know. So, and it was a vocal approach, so I don't know, I guess that's what really turned me on, you know, to playing the saxophone. And I played the tenor, I played the baritone, but I enjoy the alto because it projects, it's kind of romantic, you know, and I like ballads, so I guess that's what really got my attention to the alto.
Some authors have said that you are romantic. What is that? What's the essence of that romanticism that's inside of you, obviously?
I don't know. It's a thing that it's hard to explain. You don't learn it in school. It's just something that it's a natural thing. You know, you don't practice that. You know, you just play that. It just comes natural. You know, and something that you don't explain that. Like I said, I like ballads and I like beautiful music. I'm not what you call a fusion player, you know.
Like Miles Davis or something like that, or anybody?
You know, they call it outside playing, but I'm more of an inside player, basics, you know, basically. I don't try to prove anything technically, I just present it. You know, like Dizzy said, it's not how much you play, it's how much you leave out, you know. So I've just always made it simple, and so the masses can understand it.
What's your definition of the basses?
Well, the basic is just straight ahead music. You know, how can I explain that? The music that the average person can understand. You know, like you can get too technical and only musicians would understand what you're playing. So when I say basically, I mean a person that doesn't know anything about music, but know when it's wrong and when it's right, you know.
And the basics are?
Usually always right.
Right, and you just, that's what you just respect most about the
Right,
music. You respect the basics,
right.
and as you say, you don't find it necessary to go outside of that?
No,
That's,
I don't find it.
no, because let me just throw some words at you, which I've heard people use to describe you: consistency, economical with regard to music, clarity of presentation. Why do these words describe you, or do they describe you?
Well, consistency, I guess, I'm consistent in what I do because I don't really change my style. Every 8, 9, 10 years, there's a different style. Some people call them fads, you know, a new sound. But I never try to go with what's now or what's happening, as they say, you know. I usually stay myself. I play the same way, not the same tunes, but my presentation is the same because I've been fortunate enough to have a sound that's my own. And I think if I change that, then it's not me. That's what people buy, is identity.
They buy Hank Crawford
Right,
for a
yeah.
specific.
So if I try to change that, then, you know, they would immediately recognize, oh, you're not being yourself. You know, so I guess I'm consistent in that, not changing. I couldn't change it anyway if I wanted to, you know.
I want to ask you another question about Ray Charles. It was a quote that I got from Joel Doran. Joel Doran. If Ray Charles was an integral part of the soul movement, then so is Hank Crawford to almost as great a degree. Ray Charles cast a large shadow, but many people fail to realize that in order for a Ray Charles to make it, he has to have a Hank Crawford or two somewhere along the way.
Oh, what a compliment. Well, I don't know. It's like, I guess, Duke Ellington. He was blessed with a band, you know, that had people like Johnny Hodges, and I mean, he had a band of stars. You know, when I was with Ray Charles, we had guys in there, David Fathead Newman, and that's what I guess he meant by having people like myself and others around him, because we felt what he was doing. You know, you play better when you've got people that understand what you're doing, you know, so in a way, I guess, he was fortunate, and so were we, you know, because we all felt the same way about how the music should be presented, you know. So it was good.
Who's your Hank Crawford right now?
Who is my Hank Crawford?
Yes.
Meaning?
Is there anybody in your band that you, or do you keep consistent band?
Yeah.
Let me ask you that question first.
Yes, I have a band, but I'm the only horn player. I just use the rhythm section, you know. So I guess I'm the only Hank there right now.